Hello everyone, it's your main Flip Bayless here on Disputed. We're on YouTube now. We're expanding. We'll start making YouTube content a little longer form, looking for that 5 to 10 minute mark. Anyway, we're gonna start with the recap in this episode of week 4. Got some big news, some injuries unfortunately, some trades, and just more talking about the rest of the season. Let's get into it. We're going to start with arguably the game of the year, most exciting game to happen yet. Dragons versus Tide. It was 10 to 10 after a double overtime, and they went to a shootout tiebreaker. The Dragons won 3 to 2 in that. Now I got some stats for you here on the Tide. We had Rogelio going off for 7 points in the first game without Max Peterson. Rusty Ricks with 2 points in his first career start. Darren Arnold forcing 2 turnovers. Now for the Dragons, we had a lot going on. Francesco Sage with 5 points, Keith Fraley with three, including a buzzer beater in double overtime to send it to the shootout. We got Xavier King with 2 points, Tobias Fonseca forcing three turnovers, and Joel Mason's forcing two. Moving on to the Comets versus the Knights, we had Lee Cho with a buzzer beater to win it 7-6 for the Knights. Quinn McHugh also had 5 points in that game, Jaden Little with three, and Wiley Little with two. Now, I must say, Quinn McHugh has been one of the most surprising players this season so far. I believe he is the sole number one on the points leaderboard right now, and nobody really expected that coming in. Lee Cho was supposed to be their guy, and he's playing great, but Quinn McHugh has just been something else. Now, speaking to somebody that was supposed to be something else, we got Jaden Little. 3 points is great. That's above average. But coming into the season, everybody, well, not everybody, mostly just me, but a lot of people had him as the number one player in the league. We thought he was going to be the greatest player. And we have yet to see that. The Comets have had little success. Like last season, um, you can blame that on the coaching if you want to, but the players are also the ones out there, they got to win. The coaches can't win from the sideline alone. The players got to perform. Moving on to the Mystics versus the Frogs. As you may have seen, the Mystics just traded away Doug Powers, Will Gage, their first and second round picks from this upcoming draft to the Tide for Max Peterson, Stephen Fitzsimmons, and the Tide's third round pick. Max Peterson did not play in this game, as there's like a period, you can't play in your first game after you've been traded. It takes time for that to be processed. So it was just Percy Willis going off against Drew Park. And the Mystics won 6-5. Percy Willis had four. Drew Park had four. And Drew Park was questionable going into this game. He walked out of the tunnel. It was pretty epic if you saw it. If you didn't see it, go look it up on YouTube. There was only one total turnover. It was a pretty offensively driven game. On that note, we're gonna move into the Phantoms versus the Sharks. This was this was the game. All right. The Sharks won it 5-4, giving the Phantoms their first loss in the most heated unofficial rivalry, I must say. This has been a rivalry since the first game of the first season with that coin flip victory for the Sharks. Phantoms got it back in the championship, beat the Sharks, and ever since then it's kind of been a really exciting game for everybody to watch. Fabian Hill's halfway through the game, he was hit pretty badly by Broderick McCaskill. I'm not going to go into if it was a dirty hit or not. I'm not here to do that. Even though me and Fabian have had our differences, I will take a moment to get some prayers out for him, and I advise you do the same. This isn't this isn't a time to get into whether Broderick McCaskill was a dirty player. This is a time to make sure Fabian is doing well, and he is out for the season. We have been updated on that. That spinal injury looked pretty bad. He had to be carted off on a stretcher. This is not looking good for him. So, just prayers up for Fabian. Back on the topic of the game, Octavio Brent had three, Marcus Evans had 2 points, and Donnie Earls put up two. In some more general news, we're going to talk about the tie trade. I didn't talk about it too in depth yet because I wanted to save it for last. We've already seen that the Tide's success has been affected by getting rid of Max Peterson, and that can only leave someone to wonder whether Peterson was the problem. Is Peterson going to help or hinder Percy Willis' success? I personally think the Mystics are going to see some troubles with him in the locker room. I've heard Percy Willis has already given up that number one role to Peterson to let him be the star. Percy Willis is going to take that back seat, and I'm not sure if that's the right move, but that was Percy Willis's choice. Percy Willis wasn't asked by anybody to do this. He just did this out of being humble. And that really just goes to show how much of a great guy Percy Willis is. I don't think Peterson is going to take that for granted, hopefully. I hope they have some success, but I don't know. This is a tough thing to decipher. This is the first big trade, first big superstar trade in the FSO, and we could already be seeing the effects of it play out in front of us. That is all I have for you today, Undisputed. I hope this transition over to YouTube goes well. I hope y'all like the format, and I hope everybody at home has a great day. I'll see y'all later.